people.
Oh, Archon.
I don't know why you always...
I guess if there are, kid.
Maybe this is one of the customs of...
Vache.
What's wrong?
Vache. Vache.
No, Paimon didn't say anything.
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the... when he asked me to...
Right.
What do you mean? There are a lot of people...
Hey, you're not trying to...
I see. In fact, you might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you heard is...
It's because of...
When do you cry?
Wait, what?
Just answer me. When do you cry?
When Paimon's really sad? Oh, and when Paimon's super...
Then you should understand that tears contain your most... Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine. So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion coming from someone's tears.
So, what did the voice say?
Rather than worry, don't let that calm...
Oh, right.
Puedo entrar allí, ¿no? Un momento, chavales, un segundo. A ver. A ver, chavales, ya estoy por aquí. Un segundillo, sigo. Vamos. Por cierto, mirad. Tengo 5.585. Si quiero comprar, ¿vale? Me vendría aquí. Tengo 75 de estos, ¿no? Mira, puedo comprar ya una. ¿Vale? Pero bueno, igualmente. Si me vengo aquí y compro, puedo comprar ya 34. Más uno de estos, 35. Cuanto pueda tener para 40, los grabo a ver si nos dieran algo bueno, algo potente y demás. Que lo mismo no nos dan una mierda, pero quién sabe, puede ser, ¿sabes? Puede ser.
Traveler in Paimon, good to see you. I knew you two would come.
Are you kidding?
But you're actually right on time. The audience still... The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your seats, and here are your tickets.
Ok, pues dame mis tickets.
Ooh, front row seats. Thanks, Lenny.
Dame mis
Don't mention
tickets.
it. There's no need to keep thanking me.
Hey, Lenny, could you come over here and take a look at this?
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there. That's Cal, my assistant.
Yeah, we'll just go.
Supongo que será... Vale. Abre, eso es... Me voy a sentar al lado de... ¿Quién es?
Oh, these should be our seats. Hey, traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us.
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you...
Oh, so you heard all of that, did you? Wait, that's not it, Paimon's. Sorry. Paimon's the one,
A friend, you say?
Oh, so you're not nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the traveler. We just...
It is an honor, and as required by proper etiquette...
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an...
Wait.
I saw you all chat. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always
Whoa,
No offense taken. And by the way, there's someone I believe she is... So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later.
Huh?
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay...
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydrorch?
All right, please wait.
Yay! The show's finally about to...
Venga, a ver que poco después el público empieza a entrar y por fin se abre el telón. Vamos a ver esto. Tiene buena pinta.
Oh, they're dimming the lights. The show must be starting. Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
No habla directamente.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Una lágrima y una estrella.
Hello, everyone. Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness. Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be...
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit this... I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in... Oh, and before I forget, there's one more You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye.
Atentos.
A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless.
Vale, el sombrero está. El sombrero flota. Salen cartas. Más cartas. Más. Una paloma.
But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes.
A que se ahoga.
It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do.
Solo su ropa. What the fuck?
Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
¿Y sale vestida de nuevo? Bueno, no ha estado nada mal. Entretenido.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then reappear out of nowhere?
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage.
Guess you're right. Cleon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette...
Thank you everyone. But our magical journey has only just begun. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is, in which case, I have ample time to make... So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of... Please, if my assistants... There are 2 boxes, and only 2 boxes. One is here. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already... Our lucky... Now, please...
Wow! How's he... Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks? Or does Lenny have actual superpower?
The lucky audience member will be generated by... It selects numbers... Now then, let's begin.
Me va a tocar a mí, ¿no?
Let me see... Oh, Rose, please, come forward. My assistant will take you...
Ah, con esta persona.
I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things may... If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself... Oh. All right. Before... Like this. 60, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slow. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying... Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh! Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that!
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You come on, repeat after me.
60! 59!
That's right, perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once...
54, 53, why aren't you counting, Neverlet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough and merely a consequence of my identity and personality.
Oh, all right. You look so serious that... 40, 30...
Mr. Linney, are you all right in there? Is everything ready?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just double-checking the direction of the... It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, midair right above the...
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all. the noise. Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like any...
25! What's wrong, Mr. Linney?
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't...
Never mind.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry. It seems things aren't quite going as... It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know 10 seconds and change is still plenty of time.
10!
Almost there now. Whew. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7!
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5! 4! 3!
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0!
¿Esto? Ahí está. Muy guapo, ¿eh? Es otra mujer, ¿no? Oh, algo ha salido mal, ¿no? Ese ha muerto, ¿eh? El ayudante ese ha muerto y este se está metiendo en un problema.
Is this part of the show? Mr. Linney, you're going to use magic to fix...
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl with...
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or...
Yes, that's right. If this was...
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom. Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linney's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some... And there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearance.
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I know the truth. I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linney, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearance.
Huh? Why me? This...
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being... Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing...
That can't be right. He was in the box on the stage the entire time. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He could...
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments
I just think that he... Well, I think it might be a little...
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she...
A kidnapping and...
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what that's right. I mean you, traveler. You'll support Linney, won't you? After all, he was the one... But with Linney's help, so no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and...
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such, well, traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend him in this case? Very well. The trial... Linney and his troop. The audience may be...
A day isn't that long.
Linny!
Sorry about everything that happened.
Of course! Who wouldn't be...
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer? Good to hear. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries. I don't know whether what happened there on... As for how that... Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself...
Which is precisely why we need to investigate! As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible. Paimon bought them when we were reading it. Don't worry.
I think they look.
You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. But with the guards watch, good thing you agree.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, since we're going to start...
Oh, well.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to... 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, but if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, we should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks.
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation...
Ok. Vamos pues.
Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
Ah, I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting...
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see.
A ver.
The deceased is one of Linney's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troop long, he was hard. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linney is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
But he doesn't have a motive.
Are you both?
Well...
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the... I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least... Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Anyway, you may invest...
Pues nada, a investigar.
So this is the rope that... The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks? Why are you suddenly so serious, traveler? Whoa. Look, most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. Wait, why don't you write all...
Go ahead, have a look around.
¿Ven?
Whoever the murderer... Why would it be... This rope?
Ah, espera. No, no es eso, ¿no?
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here!
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're all.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
¿Quién coño es esto?
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Meluz.
Huh?
My apologies, demoiselle.
No need.
Okay.
All merely trifling deep. That's right. Judging from the.
Really? But
Intuition, naturally. Farina sure was quick to point. But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the justice had to interrupt. Anyway, a trial begins.
sounds more.
Well, what's your opinion? All right.
Wait a minute. Did that answer?
Well, in your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's.
Well?
And why would that be? See, Silver and.
Most esteemed, no matter how, and if that can be.
All right, now.
Wait! Since when did we become?
Oh,
That's more like it.
Far be it from me, you wish to say.
You have a point. And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something.
I have nothing to add.
Oh,
we'll be making some.
whoever the murderer. Whoever the murderer. This. Why would it be? Why would it be him? Why would it?
Sorry.
Were you always?
Yes. So the missing girl couldn't have. I doubt.
How can you be?
Well, I couldn't see, but still, we
So, it's safe to. All right. Thank you for your help. This'll.
Visto. Vale, básicamente creo que es hablar con la gente y tal. Supongo que aquí habrá que hablar con él.
I see
Tendremos
that
que
you're
hablar con él.
if you find any.
We don't have to. The Thud?
Yes, exactly. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with big. I'm of the opinion when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crash.
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough. Oh, that's true.
That does
Claro, ese sonido, ¿qué cojones era?
Go ahead, have a look around.
pues será este.
The seats were all booked in advance. So we... Sure, it's not like this is confident. Her name is Halsey. Apparently, the magic troupe member... Simply put, she wasn't related to the magic troupe at all. That's how it seems to...
Okay, then.
No need to be so... It is of utmost...
Vale, ya estaría, ¿no? No, puedo creer. Para esto.
The investigation.
See?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation.
You're trying to help them?
Lenny used the machine. Well, we thought there might be.
It turns out that this. I'm sure you already. In other words.
That much
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Ahora estaría ya, ¿no? Completo.
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. My mom wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are...
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware.
Very good. Thanks.
You may spare the...
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem... Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia, and these are my companions. Would you mind...
Oh, new helpers?
Well, let's just...
I appreciate your
Poco me
kind
fío de
interest.
esto.
Come with me.
Que
We'll
sea
be headed
unidos.
below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far...
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about...
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able... The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly. All right.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right...
I see.
Precisely.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here. The audience member would only be able to feel...
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out...
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by my assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that
And what about Lynette?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh,
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the...
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who... And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked!
Lynette would briefly walk out of the... And then I walked... But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member.
We really don't know...
If not for that interlude, and yet... Could we have a look around?
This is the scene of the crime. So Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now.
Thanks, everyone.
Why would it be? God, we have the well, and that's why digging a tunnel.
Me faltan dos pistas.
However, the people needed to register.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why?
Oh, Paimon knows! It's one of those tricks where you pour water and here's a broken vase. Huh.
That can't be. The trolley moves along.
Let's note this.
Oh, her clothes are here.
Right. Ugh. Whoever the murder.
Y hay una entrada por lo que se ve.
What's this?
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh?
Perhaps it was a prop for a different.
Whatever. What is this place?
It seems someone could.
Alone, perhaps.
But there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down. Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes. Let's head back up.
Vamos a
Well,
ver.
we've ascertained. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns.
Apologies for the wait.
So, what did the guards say? Did the crew?
They believe the odds of that are very low. The guards have checked the area carefully.
So the tunnel's become like a secret chamber then.
In other words,
Charges and...
That's right. This is how a trial goes. That's right. The statements from, to put it simply,
this also precludes any kind of...
once both sides, then fine.
Huh? So that machine...
In practice, yes. Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes...
They're concerned, and even if that were...
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa! There's no need for that. Paimon thinks they have a point.
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the...
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. I mean, what better...
Huh. Breaking out, so just kidding.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to...
I have eggs, sugar.
These three are quite the interesting group. And Paimon thought it smelled from the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff, but you ended up doing the...
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging...
Don't underestimate. Anyway,
Only...
well,
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is... No need for...
All right then. Down to business. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were the magician twins could have committed the crimes.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
The flower vase and the thud resulting in the shattering of perhaps the criminal thought.
Paimon thinks that makes sense.
True, but the only people left to consider are both
Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowell before?
That's right. And even if she had tampered with, nor does she have an...
From the sound of it, your macarons are...
They are...
What?
Please don't worry about it. At my age, if you let...
Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have... Wait! Even you don't believe Paimon? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach!
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose, Malus, set up the stove again, if you would.
Huh?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Exactly.
As you wish.
And I have the egg.
Well, that's it for snack time. I don't know what we're looking at. It would be...
All right, thanks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find...
All right, it's time to put our heads together. Oh, it's probably
De
gonna be a
0 a
lot
8,
of
vale,
difficult case.
claro.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing. Good plan. Impossible things...
Just relax. Even if everyone else... Besides...
Thanks, Navia.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your...
To be honest...
No. We're already very grateful.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation... That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of... But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe...
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident... Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linny...
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage.
Thank you, Mr. Linny. In that, you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not...
Yes, that...
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina.
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linny is clearly... There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask...
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. What?
Huh?
Hey, hang on.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of...
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something like...
So the serial disappearances were the Fatuus doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting. Oh, good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is a...
Hey, Linny!
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina, first, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the... Are these claims... Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary?
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy...
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would... I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad, not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad!
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry. I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough, but our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to... The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to. Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, but still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal.
Sorry. Please.
Well, you both say that, but... Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Of course. I'll answer any. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to which should have been impossible, of course, I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must.
That's the only way we can save.
So, it was never my wish to pursue. But, like I said earlier.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty bad. If we want to refute the Hydro Archons, huh? Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you.
Both parties have returned to the... When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may...
That at this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective. Countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud... He did not realize that the sound could be heard. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and so Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into... Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice. And there you have it.
Does the defendant's side have any...
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linney experienced, and what he saw.
Okay.
Seems this won't... According to Linney, he left... Hmm. 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 Linny went to the... Linny did not...
Attention! Ace, when the countdown started, but he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again. And in order to complete, finally, he reached the surface. And then... Paimon did it!
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing.
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case.
That's right, you tell him!
And that... Well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims? Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, you're saying that he wasn't?
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? Are you sure we don't need to give this... That's right! Linny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's what this means, that when the crime happened, Linny had already entered the basement. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof!
Well, to think you'd use such luck. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience. The deceased's name is Cowell. Could there have been a third person involved? Halsey is the missing person. The deceased's name is Cowell.
That can't be right. The kill...
Oh, is that so?
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator. No one entered or left. The deceased's name is... Halsey's clothing was in the... Linny was not in the tunnel. No one entered or left. The deceased's name is... It would have been tough for both people. The sound we heard may have... No one entered or...
Este sí, correcto.
Halsey's clothing was in... The deceased's name is... Linny was not in the tunnel.
Este sí, correcto.
No one entered or... It would have been tough for both...
Nada.
Linny was not in the tunnel. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
What's wrong, Traveler?
I see how it is.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider just like the trick as it transpired, the end result.
If only we knew how
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that...
Excuse.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have come from... The deceased's name is... The vase was not broken.
Bravo.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being... Lynette, if there's a...
How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality. Magic tricks are...
Even so, the truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may... Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress...
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when...
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence... Guards, please step into...
We are still examining. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's back. The notebook in his back. The primordial. The note's contents. The notebook has many. One of these tubes was. The notes also state that these. As such, we.
You've got to be kidding. It's something so ridiculous.
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy.
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? Just a minute. Could that mean...
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partner?
Let's go.
Order! Order! Still, guards, Mr. Linny.
Of course, if we uphold this...
Right! Like the metal hook! That... Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that...
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for enough... The water from the primordial... The rope that held the water... The deceased's name is... The deceased's name is Cow. The rope that held the water... The water from the Now it seems like the...
Todo sí, todo no.
Now it seems like the hook rope. Lynette was in the magic... The rope that held the water...
Nada.
Now it seems like the... Lynette was in the magic...
Ok, falta una.
I
Es esta.
remember there was...
Listo.
It's este in the original plan. Cowl, when the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and bite.
Huh. That actual...
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that his notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to this.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that I shall now invite him on.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among...
What?
That can't be. Oh, I see. What does this not, my dear?
No veas, chaval.
Lenny did not need to take... Having made modifications upon him, ultimately, he now, as much as... Am I right?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. Is this the end of the road?
Oh no. Paimon can't think of anything. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move.
I believe this is indeed...
Ojo, falta uno, ¿eh?
Now then, my... excuse me, everyone, but I...
Miss, I must ask you not to...
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like... I'll show you an amazing... What?
No offense, Miss.
Come on now, don't be... Once everyone believes the illusion. Can't magic reveal the truth to them once? And wouldn't such a trick on the butt? As the magic makers and stars of the show...
I understand.
And voila!
Sorry for...
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So...
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would... I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one... I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I knew it...
That'll teach you to underestimate...
Where should I begin? I'm sorry.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian. I heard that Linny's show... That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. But I was...
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that he even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. But so I played... I wasn't going to take... There was... I slipped out after...
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, had I known that...
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now.
This time, we need to... The strange... The flower va... Lillian was...
And it's Ist! Having been selected, her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water. Hearing the commotion, he did not know that Lillian, mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to... The two broke with no way of escaping.
Lo tenemos, ¿no?
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them.
At this point, all the events.
Bravo!
Now then, Lady for... Please answer the question, Lady...
What? Are you reading my... No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat.
Wow. Look at that!
If there are no objections, then as the Chief the actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing, he also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance. He poured the water. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young... When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon. If all had gone to plan, realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Liliane, thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box. Liliane, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding. As for Linny, from this while there is much in Linny and Liliane's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the... As such...
Great work, part.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in...
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or what...
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know...
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself...
We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity...
And now that your plan has fallen through, and therefore you would be...
Yes, our boss. It can also be... We've been in the...
Ojo, se disuelve.
And now he can no longer...
Such ruthlessness.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now, but still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave...
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're back when our parents to survive, I took my sister to my surprise before long.
So you went from...
That was how we but he would constantly...
That doesn't seem...
After I waited alone. The answer he gave...
Oh no.
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin... I managed to... All I saw...
So...
That's right. Father, the House of the Heart... I was hesitant to trust, but she was all...
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has gained...
So, she...
That's right. Today's case has all of us house to us orphans.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to heal.
It's alright. I just hope you can if you should need anything at all in the future.
Bye, Linny.
Ok.
Germinate! Propagate!
Eso es todo por hoy, chicos. Hasta el siguiente capítulo. Chao, chao.